Welcome back to the Realm Report. It's been a pretty packed month as we've been celebrating the holidays in the old world. We're also approaching a new year. There's plenty to discuss, so let's jump right into the topics. As November drew to a close, we saw the end of the House of Horrors build competition at the Nether Colony. Rather than putting it up to a public vote, Chozo instead decided to rate the builds himself. The builds were judged based on 3 characteristics: size, interior, and creepy factor. Resculin won the competition with her submission. Black Lightning came in second, with Giggy taking the 3rd place spot. Thanks to Chozo for hosting the competition. This month, Akkadian became the first location to fulfill the requirements for a charter. 6 months ago, Wrath of Khan and AJ began working to start their own officially recognized community here in the old world. This means the area now has its own brochure and is represented alongside our other core communities. Wrath of Khan was selected to be their mayor, so if you'd be interested in building something over there, be sure to let him know. In addition, this month AJ hosted a dodgeball tournament at the Pokemon Stadium over in Akkadian. It was a pretty fun concept, and while testing it out, we learned a lot about what was and wasn't working. It's possible we may develop it more and turn it into a future monthly event sometime down the road. This month was packed full of different holiday events. To kick things off, on December 1st, we opened up a new area that Willow and I had been preparing behind the scenes. A few of us headed over there and immediately got started on different builds, with more joining throughout the course of the month. There were initially some issues with the biome not working correctly, which was creating this weird mix of chunks where it would and wouldn't snow. Fortunately, I was able to get that corrected pretty early on. We went for about a week without having an official name for this new location. Eventually, I threw up a poll with some of the name suggestions I received, and the majority of people wanted to go with Isle of Misfit Oldies. Next, on December 3rd, a bunch of us got together to decorate the big tree in the capital. Chozo had taken some time beforehand to redesign the tree, which was a huge improvement over the previous one, and gave us a lot more room to work with. The whole process took roughly 45 minutes, and overall I think the final result was much nicer than last year. We also had a much larger group involved this time, so thanks to everyone who came out to help decorate the tree. Finally, we held the 2nd annual Secret Santa. We had 26 people sign up this year, which was an increase from the 22 we had last time. Since the lodge at the Isle of Misfit Oldies came with its own post office, we decided to utilize this specifically for shulker drop-offs and pickups. While the majority of people were able to attend the initial meetup, there were some issues coordinating with a few participants due to time zones and real-life obligations. The difficulty with doing something like this is that its success is contingent on everyone being actively involved, but when there's 26 people you need to communicate with, that can sometimes be a little difficult. I'm planning to rework the process a bit for next year and hopefully streamline things a little more, but overall it's something I very much enjoy doing. I made a change to one of the channels in Discord this month. The Job Opportunities channel has always been popular, but the problem is that occasionally jobs can get buried as people start having conversations about a specific job. So I went ahead and changed it from a standard channel to the new job board forum channel. I know that some people are still a little unclear on how the forum channels work and what makes them different, but they're basically just a more organized method for discussing a specific topic, with the focus of this one being jobs. The benefits of transitioning this to a forum are that you'll now be able to create a dedicated post about any jobs you have available and tag them accordingly. Oldies seeking work will be able to filter based on these tags to find jobs that best suit them. In addition, the forums also provide more sorting options. You'll be able to sort by date posted or recently active topics. You can also change the view of how the jobs are displayed, but that's really a matter of preference. I think this will be a much better method for keeping everything organized. If you have any questions about how the new channel works, feel free to reach out. This month we held the first ever Drop Zone event at the Isle of Misfit Oldies. This was a long time coming, but on December 18th, 2 teams entered the Drop Zone arena for the first time. A few days before the event, I released a video that provided an overview of how the game was played. This was done as a way to get everyone on the same page about what was and wasn't allowed while playing. Since this was our first time holding this event, a big part of it was just testing out how the game actually played. As expected, the biggest issue we encountered was the lag from all the floating entities. Some ideas are being thrown around about adjustments that can be made to limit the issue for next time, as well as some things that may extend the event a little longer, but overall, most people seem to enjoy it. Next month, Black Lightning will be hosting a build competition to help house homeless villagers as part of the Old World's New Vision sponsorship program. We put a brief hold on build competitions for December, as the priority was all the holiday stuff we had going on. But with all that behind us, we'll officially be moving forward with this one. The competition will have a medieval theme to it, and everyone who participates will receive something for their contribution. Prizes start at 5,000 gems, so I encourage everyone to come out and help the homeless villagers. Reach out to Black Lightning for more details. So next month we'll be switching things up by holding 2 events. In case you missed it, back in April, we held the Dome Grand Prix. This was an ice boat race event that Peculiar put together with help from Willow, and after it was finished, I felt that we could expand on the concept a bit. So beginning in 2023, we'll be introducing what we're calling the Grand Prix Series. This will be a collection of 6 races hosted by each of the core communities, with one race occurring every other month. To pull this off, some of the mayors got to work on ice tracks for each of their respective areas. Some of these tracks are further along than others, but the goal is that by the end of the year we'll have 6 full tracks completed. If you'd be interested in assisting with this project by helping to design the tracks, it would definitely be appreciated. In addition, we'll also be introducing several new badges to accompany these races. There will be an individual badge for each race and an additional one for anyone who manages to win all 6. This will carry over from year to year, so for instance, if you won the Dome Grand Prix for 2022, but lose this year, you'll still get credit towards the badge for any races won in 2023. So for the first of these races, we'll be returning to the Circuit of Mario Dome Champs on January 15th for the Dome Grand Prix 2023. The other event we'll be holding next month will be the Willow Classic 6. Believe it or not, it's already been 7 months since the last time we held one of these. Following everything she did with the Isle of Misfit Oldies, Willow got to work preparing the Coliseum to get it ready in time for the end of January. For some of the newer oldies who have yet to participate in an event, this is a great one to start out with, as it's a pretty standard PvP event, although each one has a slight twist. So I hope to see some new faces over there, even if you'd prefer to just spectate and get a feel for what the events are like. The Willow Classic 6 will be held on January 29th. And so we find ourselves at the end of another calendar year. While 2021 was focused on expansion and the creation of new locations around the old world, in 2022 we definitely shifted our focus more towards events and increasing the variety of those events. For 2023, the plan is to continue to grow what has already been established, as we now have a good foundation to build on. One goal of mine is to continue to introduce new events, so if you'd like to help out with that, I hope you'll consider joining the event planning team and share some of your ideas. In addition, as with any server, we're always looking to expand the player base. New players offer new ideas and perspectives. They also help to keep things fresh and interesting for some of the more veteran oldies. Bringing in new people also allows us to build up the different communities and keep them active. In the past, I've recruited new players very sporadically, but moving forward, I'd like to start doing it on a more consistent schedule. However, the priority will always be to bring in quality players who want to get involved and are looking for a long-term world to call home. And that wraps things up for this edition of the Realm Report. I hope everyone has a great new year, and as always, see you on the server.
Shit, I didn't hit him.
Lynn's hitting.
Bye, Peck.
Down to 3 hearts because Lynn hit me so many times.
I don't think she's doing it on purpose.
I think she is.
Oh man, that one has lava on it. Ah,
Oh shit! Sorry. I don't know if that was me or.
that was you.
No!
Can't barely move.
See? I told you. Lynn's killing people.